What's up, Laker fans? The Lakers have shot poorly from three-point range in the preseason. In this video, I take a closer look at how Frank Vogel can get his shooters better looks on some of their most common plays. First, let's get a quick understanding of these actions. Wide pin-down screens are where an off-ball screen is set for the player in the corner, with the screener usually coming from the wing and facing the baseline or corner. LeBron sets the wide pin down here as Kuz comes off to hit the three. One of the best plays of the preseason came off of an AD pin down for LeBron, and then LeBron made the pocket pass. Wide pin downs are popular because they space the floor, they're relatively simple, and you can flow from one action to the next. Stagger screens are similar to wide pin downs, except you have two screeners instead of one. The second screener is up a little higher on the perimeter than the first screener is, making them staggered, with the goal of forcing the defender who's defending the player in the corner to take a wider route, creating separation. Let's watch that play again with a focus on the defender. Damian Lee is squared up to Troy Daniels' hip. This is called lock and trail. The idea is to lock onto the offensive player's hip and then trail right behind him as he goes around screens. Daniels starts and then stops. There's a little bit of hand fighting and Lee tries to flop, and Lee loses the lock on Daniels. Etuan Moore stays locked onto Kuz here, but then KCP gets separation from Darius Miller. But teams don't always lock and trail, and that takes us to the issue that the Lakers are having this preseason. Top blocking is when the defender denies the shooter the ability to use the screen, getting in between them. Avery Bradley tries to counter that by going under the screen instead of over it. But when you do that when you're coming out of the corner, you catch the ball facing away from the basket. By the time you've squared up, you're not open anymore. You see the same thing with Zach Norvell here, and Caruso decides not to make the pass at all. The Lakers have repeatedly made this mistake of trying to counter top blocks by going under the screen this preseason, and it's led to shot clock issues and contested jumpers. I asked Frank Vogel about this issue, and this is what he had to say. Both Brooklyn and Golden State have had some success top blocking on your shooters, on your staggers and pin downs. What do you guys need to do in the future to be more productive on the counters on this?
Yeah, we got a counter for that, and that's to get layups. We got a couple in the Brooklyn game where we got paint catches and got our shots blocked, so we just got to be smarter with our finishes. And there's a second and third action that you play out of with the big, because the big has to protect at the rim. So you play through that big in the two-man game, and we just got to be crisper with that.
So let's break down his answer. The paint catches in the Brooklyn game came from back cuts after the defender top locked. KCP got an open look here, but missed the layup. Avery Bradley did the same, but got stuffed at the rim after Garrett Temple switched off of Danny Green. Another option they have is to split the screeners. Watch how KCP walks Steph's top lock up a bit before cutting to the basket in between the two screeners. This is an area where Kuz's cutting and ability to finish around the rim will be helpful. So here's the two-man game that Vogel was talking about. The shooter back cuts and AD is the first screener and he pops out. The defensive big has to protect against that back cut for a moment, so there's an opportunity here. But Rondo is way too close to AD when making the pass, which brings his defender with him, clogging up AD's driving lane. That leads to a long contested two. This is what it's supposed to look like. Rondo's farther over here and continues to slide to the wing after the pass. AD has a cleaner driving lane as a result, even though Dinwiddie completely leaves Rondo. Davis gets the bucket and Rondo was wide open for the kick-out three if need be. It's important that the Lakers ball handlers maintain proper spacing on these in order to maximize the two-man game that Vogel was talking about. LeBron should slide down to the wing here. It's also a personnel issue. Dwight's not going to do much with the ball this far out. This is another area where getting Kuzma back will help. Him combined with AD on this two-man game can be a dynamic action. On a few of these, I have no idea what they're trying to do. Rondo cuts toward the ball on this play, cutting off the two-man game until he clears the area. JaVale hits the jumper, but it's an ugly play and they won't go very far with their big shooting 20-footers off of their set actions. One of the few high-quality X's and O's plays that Luke Walton had countered these top locks. KCP backcuts the top lock like we saw before, but instead of cutting to the basket, he loops around and sets a back screen on JaVale's man. JaVale then dives to the rim for a lob, and it's up to Bradley Beal to stop him. It's a beautiful play that Vogel would be wise to incorporate into his playbook. Wide pin downs and stagger screens are common NBA sets that the Lakers should definitely use, but they need to get healthy and clean up some of the details if they want to get the most out of these actions. Laker Film Room is dedicated to helping you experience the Lakers and the game of basketball on a deeper level. If you'd like to support the work that we do, please click the Patreon or Venmo links below. Alright, that'll do it for this one. I'll catch you guys next time.